Hello friends, and welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters, where I separate the truth from bullshit, facts from fiction, in plain English. Today, I'm going to take you back about 15 months, actually a little bit more than that. And I'm going to talk about a subject that's probably going to be pretty alarming to a lot of you. And everyone should be alarmed by this. So anyway, let's get at it. And we're back. Well, hello friends on this Friday afternoon. I am in a bit of a mood, and I think part of it is disappointment. And the other part is a lot of hope and anticipation for what's to come. Some of the things that I've been working on over the last couple of years, and is culminating in something much larger than I had ever imagined. And I think it's going to take my efforts over the last 30 plus years to help injured workers all over this province deal with the WSIB. And I've been able to help a lot of people over the years, thousands, but this is going to take it to a whole new level. And I'm very excited about that. So I launched this channel about actually April of 2023. So we're coming up on 2 years. And at that time, I wanted to talk about issues that I was aware of for quite some time, as far as what the WSIB is doing to people. And of course, with my own story, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, you can watch my first 3 videos. The WSIB targeted me in a whole new way, and they thought they got rid of me, but no, I'm back stronger than ever. And fuck, they are concerned. They are really concerned, and they have good reason to be. But yes, it's been almost 2 years since I launched the channel. I wanted a medium that I could communicate with as many people as possible, and YouTube is the medium to do that. And I didn't know shit about doing videos and editing and all of that stuff, but like pretty much everything in my life, I learned it. And of course, my son helped a lot with that. He's the technical guy behind the scenes when it comes to lighting and sound and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to have a medium that I could really let people know that you don't have to take their bullshit, that you can push back, because this is an organization set on destroying lives in a large way. And I've witnessed that. I've had a front row seat to that over the last 30 plus years. So I know what they're all about. Not to mention what they tried to do to me. But anyway, that's water under the bridge, because I've been telling them for a while now, I'm coming at you. And I'm not hiding that. I have never, hid that fact. They know. In order for me to be able to really do this effectively, it was important for me to, over the course of the last 18 months, provide information about a wide range of issues that matter to injured workers and the legislations in effect over the last 40 plus years. And I happen to be very familiar with all of them, worked with every one of those laws and many of the policies, and I'm very familiar with it. And so I wanted to impart that information to give people the tools to help themselves against this organization that is brutal. But I've come to learn that it's very difficult for somebody who doesn't understand the laws and maybe not affluent when it comes to being able to articulate their issues and people just get drowned out. Their voices get drowned out. And so I figured I need to do more than that. And so I started WSIB Settlements, where we provide tools, we provide support to help our members. We start with a WSIB case audit, which is a very in-depth review of the case, the file, every aspect of the claim, every decision that was made, every memo that's in the file, communication back and forth from case managers to payment specialists to superiors to doctors to employers and all of that kind of stuff. And you can get lost in that if you don't know what you're looking for. But I figured that was the best place to start to help people, was to be able to go through that audit, provide a written report in a manner that most people can read through it and understand it. Because I do say, I talk about things in plain English. Because a lot of their terminology, well, a lot of it keeps changing. That's a problem. And a lot of it can be very confusing. So doing that and giving a person an opportunity to take a look at what's happened in their file in a manner that's there, it's tangible, it's in their hands. They can go through it, they can read it, they can go, you know what? Yeah, okay, now that makes sense to me. Why that was done and why this wasn't done and why it took this particular direction as opposed to this one. You know, dealing with chronic pain disability and psychotraumatic disability, issues like fibromyalgia, and all sorts of different medical conditions that can result from workplace illness, and different types of injuries and secondary conditions, and so on, as you can see. So it gives people an opportunity to really look at it and read it and say, okay, I have a good understanding. But we don't stop there. We provide a list of issues that we believe weren't dealt with properly or weren't dealt with at all. And we provide draft submissions to address those issues. And then it's up to the person to decide whether or not they want us to help. If you watch those 3 videos, my first videos, you'll see all of that. That was my story. I wanted to put it out there so people know who I am. People can understand how I think, what I do, what I've done. And then make a decision for themselves as to whether I'm somebody that they would want involved in their case, somebody that can help them achieve success, because that's what everybody's looking for with this organization. It's to get some level of success with their claim. So that wasn't enough. So then I set out to do the ultimate, and that's what I'm going to share with you next week. So you're going to have to wait. But I am going to share that with you, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be something that has never happened in this province. It's never been done. It doesn't exist. And it will. And I've been working at it systematically, very diligently, planning to make sure that I put everything in place to make sure that it works properly. And it's something that's going to serve the needs of injured workers and their families all over this province. And others who have actually moved back to either Newfoundland or Nova Scotia or Alberta or BC. And we handled a lot of cases from people who lived in Ontario, were injured here, ended up moving back to their provinces, or people who've moved back to the country where they were born, like Portugal or Italy or Greece. We've handled cases for people all over the world, providing they had an injury in Ontario, of course, because the laws only apply to, or our specialty is the legislation that governs workplace injuries and illnesses in Ontario. So what I want to do today for you, though, is I want to be able to show you an in behind the scenes look, what my sources are telling me about what's going on. And when I mention sources, yes, I still have a lot of people at the WSIB who know me, and we've stayed in touch over the years. I know that a lot of people within the hierarchy would love to know who those contacts are, but they never will. They never will. I'm gonna keep them guessing, because there's people inside that organization that believe and know that what they're doing is fucked up. They're ruining people's lives. So but yes, and I have other sources within the industry as well, lawyers and other organizations that deal with the WSIB. And of course, I then form my own opinions based on the actions that we've taken over the past almost 2 years now. My channels, we've had over 50,000 views. On average, we get about 250 or 280 per video. I'm not sure what the number is, probably around there. It may not seem like a lot, but it's a lot of people because I get the requests for help. Always, every week, I get more and more requests for help. And so I get to see what's happening. And at the same time, with some of the strategies that we put in place, we're causing a lot of havoc at the WSIB within leadership. And they hate me more than ever. They absolutely do. But you know what? Fuck them. I don't care. Because the more they hate me, the more I know I'm poking them in the right places. Right? So anyway, I'm gonna show you one of my first videos that or a little portion that I did back in April 20th of 2023. And in that video, I was introducing a 3-part series that I was going to be doing, how to get the WSIB to take you seriously and to take back your power. That was the title of that video, and that video has had over 1,400 views, which is amazing because it's the most of any of my videos. So it's something that people are interested in, that a lot of people, they want to take back their power. They want to be able to have some control over their lives when they're dealing with this organization. But anyway, I'm going to just show you a short clip of what I talked about that day. And as I look back, I'm going, holy shit, nothing's changed. Actually, it's gotten worse, much worse, if that can even happen. So anyway, here we go. At some point over the last 3 decades, since at least I've been involved with the WSIB, and I know it's been going on for much longer than that, the WSIB, rather than help injured workers and do what they were supposed to do from the beginning, has been slowly stripping away any amount of power, strength, support that injured workers have. And in recent events, with what they're doing and how much they're giving to employers, is a very good indication that that's not going to stop. So whatever issues you're having now with WSIB, however frustrated you are, I don't see any end in sight unless you take matters into your own hands and you take back your power. I get a bit of an eerie feeling when I look at that, because it's gotten much, much worse. And a lot of you watching this video can probably testify to that. But here's what I'm going to reveal based on my look behind the scenes. What I find is they're disorganized. They have tons of people, but very little organization. Just recently, I did an audit of a file where there are 3 people simultaneously involved in the decision-making process. And it just so happens that one person should have been able to make those decisions. But yeah, they had 3 people. So they had the person guessing, who am I going to get from, or what am I going to get from who, and what am I supposed to get here? And, I'm in a return to work program, but my employer, I'm having issues with my employer, and I have some medical issues that are being looked at. And anyway, so you have a case manager making entitlement decisions and decisions that affect loss of earnings, and you have a return to work specialist who's making decisions pertaining to return to work. You have a nurse case manager making decisions pertaining to healthcare treatment and all of that kind of stuff, which is it's asinine and it's disorganized. Another thing that I found is that they're extremely slow in responding to just about everything. So we have tools on our app, our Legal Pro Connect app, where our members can use those tools. And one of them are 3 follow-up letters. One goes to the case manager. If there isn't a response within 7 days, the other one goes to the manager. If there isn't a response within 7 days from there, the other one goes to the director, right? So we don't let up. And yeah, they're pissed off, but you know what? So be it. They have a job to do and people need money. They can't wait forever to get shit done. So they don't like it, but they have no chance. They have no choice but to address it. But you know, if you don't use those tools or you're not aware of how to actually do it, then it can be intimidating, right? But these are letters that are ready to go with all of the relevant information that they're needed. So you never have to talk to somebody over the phone. I know it's uncomfortable for some of you. I know a lot of you don't trust the WSIB, so you don't even want to talk to them. And we also have tools to address that as well, to actually request that they communicate with you in writing. And we have one for the case manager, we have one for the manager, and one for the director. And yes, they squawk all about it, and they get all pissed off and huffy and puffy and whatever, and threaten the worker. But you know what? They don't have a leg to stand on, because that's your right. It's your right to request to have things communicated in writing, and you giving them assurances that you're giving information that they need on a timely basis so that they can adjudicate your claim and make decisions. So you're not being uncooperative. You are being cooperative. It's just you want to do it in writing. Why? Because then you have documentation. You have a record of everything that's taken place, so that if you end up at a hearing with an appeals resolution officer or at a hearing with the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal, you have all of that information to back you up. They can't just say, well, you were being uncooperative. No. I was being cooperative. You're the one that was being uncooperative because you wanted to insist in speaking to me over the phone so you can threaten and intimidate me and then go write whatever the hell you want in a memo that I may or may never see. Right? So people have a right to do that. There's a reason. And they can continue to get pissed off about it or whatever, but that's their problem to deal with, not yours. So yeah, it takes forever sometimes to get a decision from these people. And so whenever you're not getting communicated to properly in a timely basis, then if you have to appeal something, then now you've got more time in waiting. And then you've got to prepare. And then you got to wait to get a copy of your file. And all of that. You're 2 or 3 months into it. Right? Because you're not getting them to respond in a timely manner. And it all goes together. Another one of the problems that I see is that their standard is like, well, when you request a file, what's going to take, we're going to provide it to you within 30 days. What the fuck? What do you mean 30 days? When I had my paralegal firm and we were requesting files, and believe me, we had dozens sometimes come in on a weekly or monthly basis. That was the standard back then, to provide a file within 30 days. Now everything is done electronically. Nobody has to reproduce it and photocopy it and put it in a package and whatever. All of that shit. It's all out the window. You don't have to do any of that. Right? It's an electronic file. It's already in electronic format. All they should be able to do is get your email address or they use Titan File as the file share platform, right? Dump it in there, send you an email saying your file's ready to go, and off you go. It shouldn't take 30 days. What the fuck? What do you mean 30 days? In this day and age, are you kidding me? But that's what they stick to, right? They're still playing on that. Why? Because they want to delay. They do everything they can to delay, to slow shit down. Which leads me to the next one, which is speedy decision-making that is sloppy. And now they use these template letters where you take certain things and you insert it into these template letters. And I've received dozens of them. I'm reading them going, holy shit. This must have been a 12-year-old. Actually, a 12-year-old will do a better job because they would keep things organized properly and it would transition from one page to the next so that it's not confusing. The average person can read it and understand it, right? But it's the sloppy kind of shit, and I'm sure you guys have received it yourselves. So if you're making speedy and sloppy decisions and you're not quoting the law and the relevant policies and all of the evidence that was relied on as required in the decision-making policy in terms of what's required in an actual decision, which, by the way, they don't provide a lot of it. This all leads to one very key, very glaring conclusion. And get this one, because this is the big reveal. This is the big reveal. And there are other things that they're doing worse now than they were before. Delaying the 72-month lock-in because they didn't have enough time to start the lock-in review at the 67 months. So they have like a whole 5 or 6 months to do it. And sometimes they're running up against the clock and putting the pressure on an injured worker to do shit so that they can justify either deferring the that final LOE review or find a reason within that anxious period that they have to push the worker to do shit that they can't so that they can meet that deadline, right? Rushed. So you would think that with all this money they're giving back to employers, they'd be able to train people properly and in a way that, and train good people to do a good job, to make sure that they're doing things not only in accordance with the law, but in a respectful manner, and by adhering to what has long been widely accepted communication protocols in any business where you conduct yourself in a professional manner and courteous and you're thorough, right? So yeah, so the big reveal is that they're overworked. Case managers have way too many files to deal with. Way too many. And I can tell you how much is too many because I had paralegals working for me and I knew when the cutoff period was before they were allocated any more files. So I know that. But they are loaded with files. No wonder they're in a hurry to make sloppy decisions and pushing people to do things that they can't do in a timely manner. Like giving them appropriate time to work with the employer and the return to work specialist to really put together a return to work plan that everybody's comfortable with. And if need be, the doctor can weigh in on it to make good, sound decisions, right? Not just speedy, so they end up, at the appeals branch. It's ludicrous. But anyway, yeah. So they have. My sources tell me they filed grievances with their union, and they've been promised that things are going to change in 2025. Do I believe that? Hell no. I don't believe that. I mean, I don't believe the fact that things are going to change in 2025. The other part about them having way too many files and filing a grievance with their union, yeah, I believe that part. Absolutely. 100%. All it takes is simple math and, of course, the information I get from my sources, they're reliable. They're trusted. So this is what's happened that I have observed very, very closely, very carefully over the past almost 2 years. And I do know that through our efforts and the hundreds of cases we have all over the province and the tools that we've put in place, that it's causing a lot of this shitload that they have. But do I care? No. Do I care that case managers have way too many files? No, I don't care. I don't care at all. Do I care that they're overworked? No, I don't. I don't care about that at all. You know what I do care about? I care about you. You, the worker, or the widow or the dependent. That's who I care about, right? And I'm going to do everything I can in my power, and I'm going to continue to do it, especially with what's coming up next week, which is going to intensify. If they thought that we were doing anything that was causing them a lot of work and a lot of havoc up until now, oh, they're in for a fucking surprise. Are they in for a fucking surprise? Because it's coming like an avalanche. So, my friends, there's my report. I urge you to go back and watch that video if you haven't watched it before. There are some very key tips that I discuss in the 3 videos that make up that series, strategies and tactics that you can use. And I know that from the feedback that I get that we've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people throughout this province who've watched those videos and have been able to keep their claim going with not too many issues. And every now and then I get a call, but for the better part. And then of course we help those who need some more hands-on type help. So anyway, my friends, I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I always enjoy spending some time with you, and I always enjoy letting you know what's going on, right? I know this video talks about a lot of the negative stuff that's going on, but I believe that I need to inform you of these things, to let you know really what's going on, because it's a shit show. And the political parties are knocking on doors and sending you text messages, and everybody's really excited right now about trying to get your vote. They're all looking for it, right? So I've already talked to you about this before. Every political party of this province has had an opportunity to govern, except for the Green Party. But the NDP, the Liberals, and the PCs. But the NDPs have been out of the game for a long time, and the PCs and the Liberals have managed to make you feel like you're in a little box. So if that gives you any indication of where I'm headed with my vote, good for you. Because I don't sign up for bullshit. This world and this life is too short for bullshit. All right, friends, have an amazing weekend. On Monday, I have the 4th and the last episode of the February Money series coming up on Monday. That video will be posted on Monday evening at 7 p.m. And I'm going to talk about pre-1990 pension, pre-1990 Section 147.4 supplement, otherwise known as a wage loss supplement or an older worker supplement. It's important information. I'm also going to talk about how your earnings are calculated, because there can very well be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars there for you if you found yourself in that situation that maybe you weren't aware of and that you could be entitled to. All right, friends. So keep a lookout for that one. And this week I'm going to have 2 really major announcements. And but you'll know, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I welcome you to become a subscriber. It's free. You get notified every time I come out with a new video so that you don't miss any of this important information. And please share my videos with others, because there's a lot of people in this province who need help and don't know where to go to get it. All right, my friends, as always, and until next time.